Breath of the Wild 2 is probably one of the most highly anticipated video games of all of 2022, and while we still haven't heard a whole lot about it in terms of when it's coming out or what the story entails, we also don't even know the title of this game other than that it's known as the quote-unquote sequel of Breath of the Wild. So today, I want to discuss a list of possible titles for Breath of the Wild 2 based on what we can observe from the Breath of the Wild 2 trailers that Nintendo has given us so far. So first off, I think that a possible title for Breath of the Wild's sequel could be Breath of the Wild 2 Ganon's Return. This title would make the most sense to me because we're assuming that the figure we see in Breath of the Wild 2's trailer is Ganondorf. From the Gerudo symbol that is underneath this decomposed creature, to the longer hair, like some reincarnations of Ganondorf have, this most likely seems like Ganondorf. Now the title of Breath of the Wild 2 Ganon's Return I feel would be a good title, and would make sense to me as to why Nintendo hasn't revealed it yet and has said that they can't give the title away to us, so that makes the most sense to me. And the next title I think could be a possible choice for Breath of the Wild's sequel is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 Zelda's Last Breath. From one of the trailers that Nintendo has shown off, we see Zelda fall into a dark abyss, and I've discussed this in a previous video, but I think that Zelda could possibly die in this next game. So what if the name for Breath of the Wild 2 that Nintendo is hiding is Zelda's Last Breath? If Zelda did die, then that could be a huge plot point for the game, and that would definitely be a title that Nintendo would not want to spoil. So that could be a title that Nintendo is hiding as well, Zelda's Last Breath. And then the next title relates around Ganondorf, and this third title is Ganons Revenge. Just like with the first title I mentioned, this title makes the most sense to me because Ganon was defeated in the first Breath of the Wild, and it would make sense that Ganondorf would want revenge after being beaten by Link and Zelda in Breath of the Wild 1. So Ganon's Revenge to me, I feel, as a title would also add a good sense of darkness to the game, showing how Ganon could be craving revenge on Link and Zelda and return, and really it could be an intense, dark sequel to the first game. And then finally, the fourth and final title idea that I think would be great for Breath of the Wild's sequel is Breath of the Wild 2 Ganon's Last Stand. Now I know by this name, like half the names on this list are based on Ganon, but that's because I feel like Ganondorf is going to be a huge part of this game, and the title Ganon's Last Stand will make a great title for this game and really kind of showcase what Ganon is capable of in this final game. So maybe Nintendo would make this final game to feature Ganondorf as the main villain, because that's what I'm assuming that character is that we see in Breath of the Wild 2's trailer. So Ganon's Last Stand, maybe this could be Ganon's last game, you know? Maybe this could be the final game that we see Ganondorf in, because maybe it is time for a new villain. I'm going to discuss that in a future video, but maybe this could be Ganondorf's last game. So maybe Ganon's Last Stand could be a great title for Breath of the Wild 2. Alright everyone, so that is going to do it for today's video. Which of these titles would you like to see Nintendo possibly use for Breath of the Wild 2's final title? Let me know down below which title you liked most, and if any of these titles that you liked were on here, let me know, and also if there were more titles that you didn't see on this list that you possibly think could show up, let me know that as well. And also, if you enjoyed this video, then leave a like and let me know down below which of these titles you liked most, and if you are excited for Breath of the Wild 2. Also, if you haven't already and you want to see more Zelda content just like this every single Friday, then smash that subscribe button, turn on that bell to be notified when I drop new Zelda content every single week. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. See you all next week in a brand new Zelda video here on the Zelda Corner.